find it?
Yeah. It's working.
Oh, yeah.
After a little while, you'll get to know which is one, what they all are. And if something sticks out, yes, but, yeah.
My too. I was saying I'm chilly tonight. I don't know why I can't.
That's we're old.
Anyway,
Probably because it's cold out.
the circulation's not as good or something. I don't know.
You should have seen, I patrol the schools.
I think next year we're gonna be up on the hill.
You should have seen the
You are.
I think so.
Oh, right there.
You know, they're building that new building. I think we're gonna,
Yeah, it was nasty out last
oh,
night.
oh, really?
Yeah, mission class.
Well, I think that we're all gonna move up there.
Awesome.
And then today it must have had a little wind because.
Yeah, except I love the
down by my
parking
house,
where I'm
it
at. I
was
don't have to pay
there
for
was nothing on
parking.
the streets when I
It's
came
right,
down to City Hall this
I park
morning,
my car right
back
here
in
and the door's
afternoon,
right
it was
there.
like
Oh,
covered with,
seriously?
covered with
Gosh.
little
Yeah.
limbs, so it must have had a little burst or something there that.
but that's okay. Because that building that we're in is a sick building.
Is it?
Oh,
it's
God.
in the shopper.
Yesterday, last night, I thought I
We've
had a
a
cold
spat
or
of flat
something, I'm
tire
telling
down
you.
the-
I got in the
our
car and
house,
about halfway
Son had a
home.
flat tire, and my wife has
Hold
a
on.
flat tire,
I-
her, a slow leak,
just
it's not
allergies.
flat, but
Yeah. Just old and dirty.
Well, it's
I hate flat
old.
tires.
I'm sure there's mold up in the
I
ceiling.
was gonna say, probably mold.
Yeah, and the print shop is right down below us.
Oh,
But they all had off this real big bring your tires.
It's 6:30. 6:30.
Okay. Is everybody ready?
hi.
Hey,
Okay, we'll open the work session for Tuesday, January 9th, 2024. We have a few items on the agenda. The first one is just reviewing our council agenda for tonight. I don't know if everybody's had a chance to look at it, but got a few things on there, so if anybody has anything they want added, or we can do that, and we can add them in the regular meeting, but we can talk about it.
I think everything's on here I wanted.
Everything, you got everything, Linda?
I think Wayne wants to give a report when we do reports
Okay,
for the county.
county report. We're gonna need another liaison to the county, make sure Wayne's representing us well.
Yeah.
It's working so hard, you forgot how to shave.
Okay, any comments on the agenda? Okay, we put on for the work session, discussion about subcommittees for public works and law enforcement. So we do have for finance now, we do have a subcommittee that looks at our financial stuff, but we were just interested to see if there was any interest in having like a couple people that would meet with the public works and law enforcement, just to, so just trying to get your ideas and what you thought about that. John?
I'll do law enforcement easy. Public works are fit as well.
We haven't talked about how often we'd meet or anything,
Can-
but probably like
I used to do
quarterly.
those
I'm
too.
sorry, I didn't see
Yeah,
that.
well, I just wanted to say it, that should probably be once a month
Yeah,
for the first couple, and then every other month,
as
maybe,
you say, I
or
don't
2
think we
months.
even needed to do it monthly, but
But
yeah.
maybe for the first couple
Just to kinda get, yeah,
established,
settled in.
yeah, yeah. I think doing this would just allow the the members to be more, have a little more involvement in the
Yes.
day-to-day running of the city, so.
Yes,
Yeah.
I think it's a great idea because
Okay.
that's something that I really would like
Okay.
to see is the, you know, the board kind of get more, a little bit more involved with
Right.
what's going on in the city. And so I think that would be a great opportunity for, you know, have some discussion between our department heads and the council and just be more aware of how things are going.
Yeah,
Okay, so we can talk, we can appoint or do whatever if we want to as far as that goes.
well, can we go back to the discussion on the the draft, the agenda for the next meeting? And how are we gonna work that? Are we going to be ready at the first meeting of the month and have what we want on the agenda for the next one? Is that how it should work? I mean, I would think that would be the way it would work. And we have a chance to decide what it is we'd like to discuss.
Yeah, I think in general, personally, it's a great idea because it also gives the public a little bit of heads up of what's gonna be there.
Right.
You know, instead of just having it put on at the last minute.
Yeah,
I mean, I think obviously there's gonna be subjects that come up that we may have to add later.
Oh, yeah,
But I
you always do
think
it to the
just in
end, yeah.
general, just
Yeah.
having an idea of what,
Right,
any ideas would be great to kind of think ahead
right,
and get that on the, kind of get it set.
okay,
Yeah, that'd be a great idea.
all right.
So are you asking about having both agendas each month at the first of the month, or
First of
always
the
be,
month, the first meeting of the month. Well, whatever, the one on the 23rd, we'll make the agenda for the first meeting in February, and
Always
so on
be
and
one
so
agenda
forth.
So we're
ahead.
just one
Right.
ahead all the time,
Yep,
Right.
yep.
basically.
Okay,
Yeah. Anything else on the agendas? I'm sorry, I went past it. I didn't think there's any.
well,
more comments, but
I,
That's how the county does it. I don't really like it.
is
as far
that
as
how
the
they do it?
agendas.
They're doing agenda setting meetings in work sessions, at least 2 meetings behind, and
Yeah,
it's a good way to slow down and hurry up. Because by the time you get to the business meeting, you've covered it multiple times,
Right.
and it's a, I like the way they do it.
Well, and I just think it gives us more time to look over the material on the next agenda and be familiar with it, you know, so, okay? So would we, now, on these, is everybody supposed to say what committees they'd like to be on tonight?
I think we can just, I think we want to set it if we can tonight, so we know who's going to be on what during the regular meeting, but we can discuss it and
Well,
kind
we
of.
have a new we have a new member
New
that's never
member.
been here before, so.
So he gets the solid waste, right? We know what the newest guy is going to
You already
get.
know what I'm gonna do. Okay.
Now's the time to speak up, Jeff. Now, don't hold back.
The outside committees, we have to decide that tonight because the letters have to go out to like solid.
Right,
waste,
right,
Federal
right,
Planning
right,
Council,
Let 'em
that kind of
know.
stuff. The internal ones like police and fire, police and public works, we can.
We don't have-
Well, we
can do
need
that
two,
tonight.
we need two people, and you said you'd
I've
like to
done
be on them, both of them,
And I'd be willing to do the public works.
There
okay?
you go. I
Okay,
got police, you got public works, bada bing, bada boom.
well, now we need
Well, we need two.
two each,
Two.
Well-
on each committee,
So we
two.
got 2 on public works and we need 2 for law enforcement.
It just, I mean, I would,
1 for law enforcement.
I'll be on with law enforcement with John. I just don't know when the meetings are because
We'll figure that out.
We'll work
Okay.
around you.
We can probably
Okay.
work
Work around me.
you guys' schedules, yeah.
We'll work around you, Jason.
I'm off at between 3 and 4 every day, so I know, right? Meet on the weekend.
But yeah, Saturday.
Would you like to be on law enforcement?
Sure, you can.
Okay.
Oh, I would just said I'll be on there with John.
Oh,
You
never
can't
mind,
have
Public
3.
Works, Public Works.
No,
Well, is
We
it
got
limited
2 on
to only
public works
2?
too,
oh, Public Works I can do, but
Okay.
I thought you had two, John and
but-
Jeff.
Yeah.
Do we only
No,
require?
he's public works.
Well, I don't think we can do 3 because that would be a meeting, so we
Yeah.
can only
Yeah.
have 2 people
I
on each
understand.
one.
So you're gonna be on
Jason and I are on police, you and
Public
Jeff.
Works,
Jeff
okay,
are gonna be.
Okay.
on
Public Works?
Okay,
Okay,
okay.
Got that?
and then finance,
yes,
Yes. Me, I'm gonna be on finance,
Anybody else want?
Elaine?
Yeah.
yes.
and Elaine wants to.
and then facade improvement.
Well, that's just that isn't really a subcommittee,
Okay.
I guess. It's just
Just do it, yeah.
it's just a committee, and I'm the only one on it. But you can be on it if you want, I don't care. Any one of you, if you want to be on that
Two
committee
people
with
can
me.
be on it, yeah.
Sure. Facade improvement grant.
I'll just leave it with you, Linda. You've been.
I'm on solid waste.
Yeah,
Okay, do you want me to write these down so you know whichever one said
Yes,
whenever you guys
please.
vote on it?
Yeah.
Please.
On it.
Oh, see how you are, we were gonna be able to mess with it. for a while.
I can stay there at solid waste, it's fine.
Oh, so you got it off, Jeff. You
Okay.
got your list over there, or you want to just keep reading them
No.
off, or?
Yeah, you can keep going.
Tenino School District, so that one's definitely one that's open.
Yeah, I'll
I'd
be
like-
on that one because
Oh.
I got a great relationship with all those guys over there.
Well, you can both be on it.
Oh,
Yeah, I'd
Jeff
like to
wanted
do
to be
that
on it
too.
too. Jeff's wife, Robin, is a teacher at the
Uh,
elementary school.
She's the office lady.
Oh, office lady at
Yes.
the elementary
that's what
school.
they're called now, office.
No, that's what I called them when I was a kid. There's something different now. Office professional.
So a primary and an alternate.
Yeah, that's
Okay,
true. yeah.
very good.
I mean, I'm not trying to jump in, but
Yeah.
we would assign somebody to be the primary person.
And
then
the
somebody
alternate?
to be Alternate when that primary is not available to attend a school.
Oh, that's a good idea.
Yeah, I'll be the primary since I've been here the longest.
I'll defer to the senior councilman.
And then Jeff, you want to be the alternate on that?
Yes, please.
Be that?
Are you gonna keep doing Be That?
Unless somebody else wants to do it. Dakota Tenino.
You're the only one with kids still in school. That's why you got it.
Not for long.
Take it.
Oh, that's right, I did, didn't I?
Yeah,
Yeah,
because I didn't have kids in school.
yeah.
So Jason, you want to stay on there?
Yeah.
You want to have anybody else interested in being on that, just to back up in case there's a need?
How about you, Jeff? You wanna be the alternate on Be That also?
You can if you want. There's really no need for an alternate.
And what is it?
It's Dakota Tenino Healthy Action Team.
It's a student-involved program.
Sure.
Started how many years ago, John? It's 5, 6, 7?
It's been a while.
It's been a long while.
We were on it at the first year.
Yeah, I was the chair.
Yeah.
president, Something like that.
Yeah, but just so you know, the alternates, I mean, it's nice to have them in there, but it's not like it's a lot that, you're
Yeah.
not gonna be doing. So
So you're basically placeholder,
That's fine.
unless he's sick.
Okay.
Not sick and tired, just sick.
I don't really.
Solid Waste Advisory, we got Elaine.
Yeah.
Anybody want to be the backup on that one? I mean, I can be the backup on some of these too, if somebody comes down to, nobody can go and there's something important.
Technically, you are.
Yeah, I'm
on
kind
all
of, yeah,
That one all has to go through and be approved through solid waste.
right. That's one you have to send a letter to say who's our representative.
Yeah, apparently.
You can just put me on there if you want to, if nobody else wants to do it.
I wonder, do we want a member on the planning commission? Do we want a council member on planning commission
Oh,
to attend the planning commission meetings?
Yeah.
Don't they report to us anyway?
Mm-hmm.
It's nice to have somebody there because they do ask for kind of like us, they do reports a little, I mean, it doesn't usually happen because.
I just wondered if it was something that we might want to do.
John, is your microphone on?
Yes.
Okay, good.
I'm willing to do that. I've been attending
Would
this
you ask
planning
if I'm
meetings
mumbling, please?
anyway,
Yeah.
just on my own. So if it's.
Both of my mics are on.
So you guys good with having Jeff on our, as going to the planning?
Planning
He said he would like to
Sure.
attend
Oh, yeah,
anyway.
yeah, I am, yes, yeah.
Okay. Study,
I'm
Oh,
still on that.
well, I'm still on it too, yeah.
okay,
Okay, wait.
so Linda,
Was there another one I just missed before, you went from solid waste to what?
steady.
Oh, okay.
Solid waste and after solid waste was planning commission.
And
I'm
then-
trying to do them alphabetically.
Okay.
You don't know.
I know.
Planning commission,
Okay.
planning commission, Jeff went on.
Okay. And then steady is you guys are both staying, Linda and John?
Yes.
Yes,
TRPC,
That's me.
John has been on both,
And
both of
TPD.
those. I don't know if we've had, anybody who's been a backup on those or
I
not in the
haven't needed
past.
one. I haven't missed a meeting.
You can put me on those too, because I kind of like going to those. Transportation Policy Board is the same. You
Yep.
can put John and I on there.
Hey, chief.
We're just talking about you, Fire District 12. This is another one we haven't often had somebody go into the fire district meetings, but I'm encouraging us to be a little bit more, have somebody attend their meetings.
Sure.
What I was kind of thinking, I was thinking maybe we could kind of rotate. 1 month you come to our meeting and 1 month we go, because I don't know that we need to go there every month and have somebody there, but, yeah, but.
So we want one of the council members to go,
Yeah,
is that
I
what you're
think that
thinking?
would be good to have somebody,
Are they
in your
ones-
meetings, yeah, so, they're in the
This
evening, so
Thursday,
that's the
yeah.
evening, so it's pretty easy to get to.
In the
6 o'clock.
evening?
Yeah, 6 o'clock, the second Thursday.
I'd like to do that.
Okay, because I'm already there.
Gold star.
Okay, so planning, we said Jeff is gonna be attending those.
Mm-hmm.
Said all kind of the outside ones, I think, we got them all?
I think so.
Internal finance, we already talked about that one. Facade improvement, we got that one. Yeah, public, yeah, I think we got all of them in.
Did you talk about the EDC?
Jen, she
No,
didn't put
we
that
did
on our
not
list.
do the
Hear that
EDC.
one mentioned?
Have we had
What
someone
time
on
do
the
they
EDC?
Me,
What time do they meet?
I don't remember exactly. It's typically at noon for lunch once a month. I mean, I would love to see Dave attend since
Yeah, I'll try to go to those too. But John would be,
it's a really important partnership.
yeah.
And then we also missed
Aslan.
the Arch Commission. Do we usually send someone to that?
Well, no, because they're just a liaison.
Okay.
And kind of getting to be on the EDC is like at their discretion. So the fact that we're invited is not necessarily a given.
Gotcha.
It's a privilege.
It's kind of like that.
I got you some flyers that you can pass out whenever you're ready.
Just trying to look at our list here to see if there's any other ones we missed.
I don't think there's anything else, do you,
Legislature
that we missed?
Yeah,
is
Linda.
Linda.
Yeah.
What?
I said legislature is Linda.
What, that's not a subcommittee.
No, I know.
Education and relocation.
Yeah, relocation
I guess I
services.
better sign them all, huh?
Well, if we miss something, we can always come back and appoint somebody. I'm looking at the list here, I think that's, yep. Okay, any other things on those?
I think so.
Okay, the next one's the big one, discussion of appointment of mayor pro tem. So each year we open up, Linda's been for several years, but we open it up to discussion whether, who wants to serve as mayor pro tem for the next year.
I'm okay with Linda still doing it.
I want to do it.
I don't know how everybody else feels.
If that's, yeah,
January.
Pardon?
Did you hear the train, Linda?
yeah, it sounds like it's going to that end, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Thank you, ma'am.
There you go.
Okay, I guess that was pretty easy.
Oh, okay, we have to do it again at the meeting, though.
Yeah, we have to
Yeah,
appoint
yeah,
and do that.
I appreciate
so,
that
yeah.
very much, thank you.
Okay, the last thing on here is discussion of the Rise Fund plan for Ag Park. So,
Here he is.
The EDC has asked
You're
us to
on.
take on some funds that they had and assign them to us. So Aslan's going to come and talk about what we're doing here.
Jen was nice enough to take some of these out, so
Thank you.
I have to go over and speak into the microphone at that time.
Thank you, Aslan.
Thank you, Jason.
Happy New Year.
Happy New Year.
Happy New Year to you too.
Yeah. All right, and that's the little green light. All right, well, Happy New Year and welcome new mayor and new council member and
And all the old folks.
Yeah, well, all right. Welcome to all of you. It's good to see you all again. So I won't take up too much of this time. So this is, the EDC was awarded a grant through the USDA called the Rural Innovation Stronger Economy Grant, RISE for short. That money allows us to really do two things: to make improvements to the building and to buy equipment, specifically with the idea that we are equipping an agriculture innovation center space. And the way that we wrote the grant, that space would include the main event and training space in the north building owned by the city. It would include the EDC office space that will be in the south building, and will include something called, that we were calling a food manufacturer incubator space in the south building as well. And so through that, all together, we bundled those things together as an ag innovation center. We would be providing agriculture, we'd provide business technical support services. We'd be providing this incubator space for a food manufacturer to get below market rent, and with some purchase equipment to help them get up and running. They get wrapped around with business technical services. And then the event and training center in the north building could also be utilized for agricultural trainings and things of that nature. So through that, the agreement that you have in front of us is really just a lawyer speak way of trying to meet the USDA's requirement that the EDC has to show that anything purchased with these funds, since we're the ones who got the funds from the USDA for a specific purpose, the EDC has to maintain control over anything that the funds are spent upon. And so we don't really want control of the space. We don't want to lease out the event center in the north building. And so talking with our lawyers, they came up with this really cool idea that there's something called a security purchase agreement. So if a piece of equipment is purchased and we write this security purchase agreement on it, we can designate that the EDC would technically have control over that equipment for the 7-year term that the RISE funds require. And so say one of the things we hope to do with the money in the north building is to purchase the AV equipment, so that this event center has state-of-the-art audio-visual equipment, right? So the EDC would technically have the security agreement saying that we would have control over that over the 7-year period of time. And if for some reason, another piece of it is we would have the right to approve future tenants. Like if Bryce is going to be the first tenant in that event space, if Bryce leaves within 7 years, the EDC would have the right through this agreement to approve the next tenant and say, oh yes, this tenant plans to still use the space for what the USDA intended the space to be used for, right? And so really those two things is to show that the EDC can able to say to USDA, for the 7 years, your money is being used for what we said you were going to. And so this agreement basically outlines that, and it also just outlines the exact amount of money the EDC will reimburse the city for. The RISE funds are very specific about what we can spend on that north building. And so in the way, I don't know how much into the weeds you want to go, but basically the city will submit an invoice to the EDC. You will get your construction invoices, then you will take those construction invoices, you will write an invoice to the EDC. The EDC will submit that to USDA. They will pay 80% of it. So that, I know there's a lot of details, but that's the basics, and I'm here for questions and to try to explain it better if I didn't do a good enough job. So. No, you did. Can you just kind of summarize up a little again, because there was a whole bunch of distraction going on when you mentioned about the city, or if say Bryce was in there for 7 years, what happens after that?
Then the city does whatever they want with that north building, and the south building can do whatever they want. The EDC does not have any claim to help determine what that space and that equipment's used for in the future.
Okay, thanks guys. There was just so much distraction.
Sure. Yeah, whatever. It's the media, man. You gotta. And I think one of the things I was confused about when we talked about this was they'll reimburse 80%. The other part of it is matching funds for other invoices. So we're not actually paying out of our pocket the other 20% is kind of a set aside, right? If I understand right, is that?
Right, so like say, for instance, 173,000 from the RISE funds can go towards improvements to that north building event space, right? Well, you guys are going to be building out the north building event space anyways with a mixture of the curb funds. I'm not sure if the council knows, we also handed over $300,000 of the county funds, so you all just have control of all the money now. The EDC doesn't hold it anymore. And so as you're building out the north building, which the city has to do anyways, you can then take invoices that you get in that construction and we'll pay 80% of them, basically. It's costs that you have to incur to finish the building anyways, and we can just pay 80% of those invoices if they match those appropriate uses of the funds. So, does that make sense?
Yeah,
Okay.
been there, did that, seen it.
Is there any other questions about these
No, I don't
RISE
have
funds? Again, it'll be in the regular meeting, it'll be come up in there to approve.
any. Yeah.
And it looks like your attorney has reviewed this document. I don't know if that's my right to say or whatever, but.
Has our attorney looked at it, Jen, do you know? this
That?
agreement?
Yes.
Yep.
Yeah, it's already.
So yeah,
So I
Rick
think
sent me an
all
email
both
this morning.
attorneys have reviewed it.
Okay. There are no further questions. Would you all like me to stay for that part of the meeting, or do you need me?
No.
No, you gotta stay till the end.
Okay.
Yeah.
You gotta stay till the very end.
All right. Thank you very much.
I want to see you before you go back there.
Did you, what?
I want to talk to you for a second,
Okay. Am I approaching the bench,
please.
Your Honor?
We're gonna have a little bit of time, I think. Here.
I know.
Wait a minute. Is there anything
We're
else in
gonna-
the work session that we want to talk about that isn't on the list here?
I don't know,
Actually-
unless it's some, like doing all of the, like we used to do, all of
I'll do the
the
reports.
reports, yeah, get the reports done.
Excuse me, I do have one question for Aslan. I'm curious, later on, we're talking about the bidding for the construction of the buildings, I think, in the ag part. I'm curious how the wall coverings, the electrical, basically this construction costs, how those relate to the bids that we're having contractors give us for the.
So that actual bid that came in very high, and only one bid came in, so the plan is to go back out to bid with the council approval. So that will be that next bid will be exactly the kinds of things, that portions of that the RISE funds could pay for. So it's something that has to get done to improve that north building. It's going out to bid by the city, and $173,000 can be reimbursed through USDA.
So it's subsidizing the city's cost to build those buildings.
Absolutely.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay, since we have some time, do you want to go through the committee reports?
That would be great.
Mine are easy. TBV,
Yeah, there
CRPC
probably
is
hasn't, there hasn't been a
tomorrow.
lot probably
Yeah,
since it's the end of the
tomorrow and
year.
Friday.
Good.
Okay, Chamber of Commerce. Any report from Chamber?
Yeah, George couldn't be here, so.
Tenino Chamber Lunch Forum is Wednesday, January 17th at noon at the 1776. Study is Friday, January 19th at 8 a.m. the Nisqually Elders Tribal Center. EDC Scale Up Training Program is free, $1,500 value, helps businesses grow. More information at thurstonedc.com.
That covered 3 of them right there, huh?
EDC,
Quick, so we'll go down to Arch Commission. Any report? No report. Experience VCB,
no.
nothing?
No.
South Thurston Fire, you want to do, have anything to say?
I'll do it then.
Okay. Library. We'll get you out of here early tonight.
Good evening, everybody. I'm Linda McKinney, the library manager for the Tenino Timberland Library. Welcome to all of you. Happy to be here again this evening. I promised the last time I was here at the meeting to give a little update, kind of overview update of what we did last year, and I have part of it. I have some kind of the big numbers, and I'll drill down a little bit more into programs and that kind of thing the next time I do my update. But here's some, if you like numbers, you're going to be happy. So in 2023, Timberland Regional Library as a whole, there were 1.72 million physical items checked out. So books, DVDs, things you could pick up and check out. Tenino accounted for 18,624 of those physical items being checked out. As a whole, Timberland had 1.85 million digital items borrowed, and Tenino checked out 16,737 digital items. And I thought it was interesting to see that in Tenino, we checked out slightly more physical items than digital items, and for the district as a whole, it was flipped, slightly more digital than physical. I just thought it was interesting, doesn't really mean anything. But as a whole, in Timberland, we issued 93,331 new cards in 2023, and Tenino accounted for 1,009 of those new cards.
Great. That's good.
Yeah. And in Timberland, as a whole, for our libraries that do have expanded access hours, of which we are one, and any other people who found that to be a benefit in their lives and made the effort to go to a library that has expanded access hours and opt in, we had 1,309 people for everybody, the whole district. And in Tenino, we have 56 who have opted in, which I think is quite respectable. Something I did want to mention, I was taking a look at kind of where we are in the district as far as how many, like population to check out kind of comparisons. And I was quite pleased to see that Tenino, with our 2020 census, I think was of the city proper, was 1,809, something like that. We rank ahead of other larger small towns and cities. For instance, like Raymond, who has over 3,000 people in the 2020 census, we check out far more items than they do. So I think that that speaks well of Tenino as far as things that our community members are interested in, and just warms my little librarian heart. So I wanted to say that. So that is it for the kind of overview from last year for kind of the big numbers thing. I wanted to mention today is January 9th. Okay. So have you talked yet about the... Okay. All right. So people who've been were on council last year have heard this already, but on Thursday, January 18th at the Quarry House, we have partnered with the South Thurston County Historical Society. We are having a program at 7 p.m. called Evolution of the Stars and Stripes, where a gentleman will be presenting about all of the different flags we've had over our history and how did we end up with the one we have today. This is going to be a series. We definitely have a February and March pinned down. February will be, it's the third Thursday at 7. February 1 is Weird, Wonderful, and Worrisome Objects in Washington State Museums. And I think that's a pretty descriptive title, and we're trying to convince Jessica to get a couple of weird, wearisome, and wonderful items from the Tenino Depot Museum to bring and share. The next one in March is, and I apologize for forgotten the official title, but it's called Pockets, and it's about how women's clothing has, over the years from 1700s on, impacted women's roles in society over all of that time. So that sounds fascinating to me. I don't know how it sounds to you, but I think it'll be an interesting talk. The February and March programs are speakers from Humanities Washington, who are being provided for free, which is always very nice, but they are great speakers, well known in their fields, and they are part of the Humanities Washington Speakers Bureau, so I feel fortunate that we were able to get them here to Tenino to speak to us on some interesting historical topics. On to things, other things, programs that are coming up next week. Today's the 9th, so actually the 13th, this Saturday, if weather cooperates, we are having a program called Game On for its intergenerational program, all ages at the library from 2 to 4. And we're kind of going old school with games, so some board games, some snacks, and just a chance to sit around, relax, and have a little friendly competition with, friends and family. So I think that will be a lot of fun, assuming, the weather cooperates. And next week on sorry, I should have looked at the dates. The 18th, same day as the program for the history program, in the afternoon from 2 to 4. We're having the crafternoon for adults. We're making these little wood gnomes, adorable and super easy to do. And then on the 25th of January, we'll begin our Books and Bites book club for adults at 5:30 in the library. We'll start our year of book clubs. So I think that's, except story time every week of the year, Wednesdays at 10:30. So family story time. We hope that we see some familiar and perhaps some new faces there as well. I also wanted to mention, not with my librarian hat, but as my Be That hat, I just came from a meeting where we were talking about an event on January 24th at the high school, 6 p.m., and it's a showing of a film, Screenagers, The Next Chapter. And you may be familiar with Screenagers. The first movie was about cell phone use and how that impacts brain development and social stuff with kids. And this is more about emotional challenges, mental health, social media, how that all impacts, as well as some information about how we can help our kids. Dinner and childcare is provided, and more information is available for registering ahead of time, although it's not required. And you can contact Crystal at the district office for a direct link for that. I think that's it, unless there are any questions. Thank you for listening to my ramblings.
No?
No? Okay.
Okay, thank you.
More
Thanks,
numbers
Linda.
next
Happy New Year.
week. Thank you. Same to you.
Tenino Community Service Center.
No.
I don't see anybody here.
Museum, how about museum?
Oh, sorry,
We have museum here.
I missed her. Museum. Yes, my mic's on. I'll get a little closer.
Mine will be super quick. I'm just going to remind everybody that the South Thurston County Historical Society meetings have changed to the third Thursday of every month. Going to try starting at 6:15. I know, kind of a weird time, but it will be at the Corey House, and then these programs that Linda was talking about will follow. So hopefully this will be, the programs are open to the public. They're free. So there is the possibility of coming early and joining the business meeting of the Historical Society, or they can just come and enjoy the program. Either way, we'll probably have museum announcements after the program. And there is a fourth program that, well, I scheduled this one, she scheduled the other ones, and so the fourth program will be in April, I guess, yeah. And that one is about the history of Thurston County during World War I. And that is going to be by a local, Jennifer Cooks, I think is her name, and she is a local historian. So that's all. 6:15, third Thursday of every month.
I'll change that in the
Thank you.
community calendar.
Okay, that'd be great.
Any questions?
No?
Nope. Now we'll go on to the Tenino Community Service Center.
Nobody's here.
I will just say, I don't know if everybody's heard this, they did have an issue with the freezers down, or the coolers down there. One of the motors went out on one of the coolers that had to be replaced fairly soon. I guess there's apparently two motors on the system, but they say if one goes out, you don't want to run with just one motor. So I think it was going to be like $800 to get those new motors put in. But so I think they've kind of dealt with that already.
Yeah,
But,
okay.
okay, hopefully these ones will probably go quick. Civil Service Commission,
No.
I don't think, have they met? Facade Improvement Grant Review.
No report.
Finance Committee,
We haven't
they haven't
met.
met. Planning Commission, That is just, I think we're just still gearing up for the comprehensive plan update. And it is going to be, I was just reading through my notes, I think there's like 9 additional areas that the city has to consider as part of the plan. So a lot of it's just going to be updating things we already have, but there are going to be some new areas that we have to deal with.
It's his fault.
Yeah. Public Safety Committee. No. Okay, Chief of Police, he asked if he could not be here tonight. I don't know if he provided, did he write a report or anything for us?
No report.
Okay. Public Works.
Public Works. Do you want to read it, Jessica, or do you want me to?
You can go ahead and read it.
Oh, okay. Thanks. All right. Public Works, the pool area, we are working on getting numbers for fencing primarily around the sandstone blocks. Reasons are rampant vandalism, like our new fence being cut from the rock area. The grates, the signs, the skimmers were all thrown into the quarry. The rocks themselves have been spray painted a few times this year. We regularly find garbage, broken glass furniture, alcohol containers, and even human feces. People sleep in there, and there are some other activities that we don't want to mention here. I wonder who wrote this report. None of these activities are safe or compatible with little kids playing on these same rocks. With fencing, we can better control when the rocks are used for playing. Another fence will be around the field between the quarry house and the museum. This will be a split rail fence and simply prevent people from driving onto the grass. Handicap parking is planned to the right side facing the quarry house. There will be 3 parking spots that will connect to the accessibility trail and will serve both the quarry house and the quarry pool. This is kind of over by the ramp area. The playground park bathroom is being remodeled. The plumbing and electrical are done. New fixtures are stainless steel, so much harder to break. The soffits are done, the cedar siding is installed, and they are currently working on some stonework. It will look very nice when it is complete. We are also working on getting portable bathrooms and showers for the quarry pool summer season. The 2023 water report is being worked on, and there will be more to report when it's done. There are plans for a flyer to go out in April on ways citizens can conserve water. Great report, Troy.
I would be very cautious about the fencing around the rocks and just having lots of discussions with the risk pool. When you put a fence around something, you are giving the illusion of safety, and it may actually make you exempt from Washington State's recreational immunity laws. And so as long as you have things open to the public, you're covered under the state's recreational immunity laws, to where any toy they play on, anything they play on, if they get hurt, the city's exempt, and Washington's laws are rock solid. If you put a fence around it, you give the illusion of safety, and also you're blocking people from accessing property that was some of it was purchased through RCO grants, so that's another thing. But like when we put fencing around the pool years ago, we had to all of a sudden hire lifeguards, we had to restrict access, and it created this whole system of things that were required. If we remove the fencing from the pool, it's a lake, and it's swim at your own risk. But the fence around something that you then are saying is unsafe creates a whole quagmire of issues, and then you may end up with rocks that you can only, that generations have enjoyed, now you can only look at. So just, sorry to butt in.
I will say AWC was just here this summer and did a huge walkthrough through all city facilities, and they did mention, even we talked about fencing off the caboose because we were worried about that getting vandalized, which thank God, knock on wood, it has not, but they did advise against fencing, things like that. So I'm happy to reach out or do whatever anyone tells me to do.
Okay.
I'm just
Yeah,
gonna
we'll
wait.
check in on that before we do. I don't think it's anything that's going to happen within the next short period of time, so we'll double check on that and make sure what our risks are by doing that.
Sorry.
That's okay. City planner,
Yes. No, not city planner,
Okay.
sorry.
code enforcement. building
Yes, I
inspector?
have code enforcement. Code enforcement opened 27 new code enforcement cases in 2023, closed 26 code enforcement cases in 2023, continuing to monitor the abatement of 218 McClellan Street. Do you want me to go right into building? Is he next? Is building next? I think.
Yeah, building
Okay.
inspector.
It's on the same one, so. Building Tenino School District Middle School Cafeteria and Art Room Project has been completed with the final inspection on December 12th of 2023. The demolition of the Lincoln Avenue house has been completed and given final approval on December 11th of 2023. The Landmark Tavern has been given final approval for a new covered patio on December 8th of 2023. There was a pre-app conference for future commercial development in 2024, as well as a pre-app conference for future residential development in 2024.
Okay. Park specialist.
So the Norseman property, things kind of stalled for a little while, but we're making progress now. We have a purchase and sale agreement in hand and are just working our way through that currently. I submitted a grant application to DNR last week. It's a long shot, but if we get it, it will pay for ornamental trees around the city, a forest management plan, and removal of Himalayan blackberries in the city park. I'm helping Public Works with some restroom solutions around the quarry pool, so looking into possibly bringing in portable restroom trailers, showers, that kind of thing, exploring options so that we can be ready to go next summer. Putting together a class schedule for February and March currently, and I'll be sending that out as an insert like I did back in December. The facility reservations and classes are going well. We have a weekend coming up where we have the Quarry House rented Saturday, and then we have it rented Sunday morning, and then we have it rented Sunday evening. So that's a good problem to have. It does mean that somebody's got to come in and check it between each use, so it'll be a busy weekend. And so long as everybody does a good job cleaning up after themselves, then it'll be fine. It'll just be checking on it. But if they don't, then we have to clean in a very quick manner. So every class is still an experiment that we do through the park program. It's kind of interesting to see what people get excited about and what like totally flops, because that has happened. We've had classes that nobody really signed up for. So the felting class in December had a really great turnout. We've had a good response to the personal preparedness workshop coming up on January 25th. If anybody's interested, put that on your calendar. I think it's going to be really good. I've seen the slideshow that goes along with it. And it's all about getting prepared, over a year's time, so that if something comes up, you're able to handle it. There are only a few seats left in a sewing class that we have coming up on the 19th, and of course, yoga is still going strong. If you want to keep up on what's going on, you can sign up for email alerts from our website. I've sent them out actually a few times now, but there's almost nobody on the list. I just send it out for those few souls that have signed up for our email alerts. I sent one out today with warnings about what to do during a power outage concerning sewer grinder pumps. So, it could be very useful information, and I would love to see more people receiving those emails. You guys can all receive those emails. So you just go on the webpage, scroll down to where it says email alerts, and you just kind of make a little account, and it'll start sending you those whenever we post news.
Can you share just a little bit more about that property acquisition, since we have at least one new person on our board? I don't know if you're aware, Jeff.
I'm not.
Oh, yes. Well,
and some people in the audience.
yeah, so there are 60 acres behind the Tenino City Park that's owned by a timber company. It's 2 parcels. The Norseman Timber Company currently owns it, and they were amenable to selling it to the city. So I, through the Park Foundation, got in contact with a group called the Angela Bowen Conservancy Foundation, and they found that this project, adding the 60 acres to our city park, was within their mission. And so they have offered to basically give us the funds, so $425,000 plus closing costs to purchase the property ourselves. And then our plan with it is to leave it forested with maybe a little bit of thinning, some forest management work, but then put in some trails, a multi-use trail that horses and mountain bikes could use, and then maybe some dedicated pedestrian trails as well. So that's the vision for that property. And we're still moving along on getting that done, so.
It basically doubles the size of our park.
Yeah.
That's wonderful.
It's a huge gift to the city.
Yeah. Okay,
Anything
any
else?
questions? Okay, thank you.
City attorney, I don't think there's any report. I'm going to be meeting with him on Thursday, I believe, just to kind of catch up with everything, so I'll report back on that. Clerk treasurer.
I've been working with IT on the tech upgrade at City Hall. The police department is next week, and then Public Works will follow that. It has been a very big deal. We're working through it. It went pretty smooth considering, I will say that. Tomorrow I'm meeting with the state auditor's office to begin our cyber audit that they're doing. This will be a 6-month process. Tomorrow's just kind of our first initial meeting to, go over all the things that they're going to need. Our IT is going to sit in on that as well. I'm not sure if everyone has heard this, but Thurston County did award the city of Tenino $350,000 grant for the EV charging station at the Egg Park. We have not received the official award letter, but Aslan did facilitate a meeting for us to meet tomorrow, and hopefully we'll have that award letter next meeting. I've been attending some pre-cons for the electrical and the HVAC for the Egg Park, so those are moving along. You will see on here, we did have a bid out for the remainder of the north building. There's a rejection letter on tonight's council, so that will be going back out to bid if anyone has any questions on that. I've also been working on a couple of extensive records requests. They've been consuming quite a bit of time. And also a reminder to everyone that we are having a council retreat on January 20th at the school district office boardroom from 9 to 3.
And she's been answering my 1,000 questions I have about everything, in addition to all that. We have a mayor's report. Wayne, would you like to do your report so you can get out of here, or are you going to hang around, or you're not going anywhere?
You're the mayor, not me. I can't give the mayor's report.
No. So I was just going to skip the mayor and go to you if you wanted to leave early. Basically, most of my time has been spent trying to get familiar with all our systems and how everything's working. I've met with all the staff. I met with quite a few partners in our community that we work with. Yeah, there's a lot to it. There's a lot more to it than I thought there would be. So there's going to be a learning curve. I've told many people that I'm going to have to catch up and understand how all these things interact and all the projects we have going on. And so I ask for some patience a little bit until I kind of get my feet under me and kind of understand all the things going on. But we're making progress, and I really look forward to working with our community and all our partners to move our city forward. So that's my short report. I could go into details of meetings, but yeah, at this point, I'm just trying to learn all the things that are going on. Be that?
Just the screenagers, like Linda was saying, but also they do have a parent night out too. There's 5 dates coming up, so if you just go to their Facebook page, Be That Facebook page, you can get those dates on there.
Solid Waste Advisory Board.
That was basically an update from the Director of Republic Works, who now handles all the recycling and whatnot. So he gave a very detailed update and a slideshow of their facility that's in Nevada. And then the Department of Ecology, and that there's all kinds of money's available for litter pickup. If anybody wants to sign up, or they know anybody that wants to clean up a road, the funds are there for them through the Department of Ecology.
Nice.
That's it.
Okay. TCOM, 911, Tenino School Board. I don't
They,
think-
January 22nd is their next
is
one.
there? Okay.
So.
TRPC,
Friday
TPB,
in the morning.
Legislature, they're starting up, aren't they?
We're started.
Yeah.
The only thing I could find, and you know, I encourage all the members to go on the AWC website, and they do a legislative update on what the cities in the state are worried about in this legislative session, and there's interesting things there. The one bill that I found was, this is a engrossed substitute House bill, so it was a bill that was held over from last year, 1245, and it has to do with increasing housing options through lot splitting. And I just thought this was a good thing for the Planning Commission to take a look at, see what's happening with it, so.
Great.
That's it.
County Commissioner, Mr. Fournier.
You actually have 6.
6 minutes.
We're going
Good
by this
evening.
clock.
My name is Wayne Fournier, and I'm your new Thurston County Commissioner. And I'm trying to figure out what that means still. But I've been doing it now for a month, and there's a lot of things going on. There's a lot of things that we touch in the county that are new to me, but I'm enjoying it. I have hired my commissioner aide, who some of you may know, Matthew Roundsley. He serves on our planning commission, and he's a Tenino graduate, and he's doing a fantastic job. My assignments: Chehalis Basin Flood Authority, Chehalis Basin Partnership, the EDC, the Lucky Eagle 2% Committee, the North Lewis Industrial Access Committee, Transportation Policy Committee, Lodging Tax Advisory Committee, the Washington State Association of Counties Legislative Steering Committee, and Washington County's Risk Pool. I'm still trying to figure out what some of those are, but I know what most of them are. And then I was also appointed as the vice chair of the county commission tonight. So I am the vice chair, which is exciting. Stuff that I'd love to share with you. I'm learning a lot of things that I think that I can pass on to the city of Tenino. So as things come up, I'll pass them on to the mayor. I'll pass them on to Jen, because there's all kinds of things that they're doing that I think would apply great here. Like I learned that they basically do all their purchasing on a credit card, and then they have a whole revenue stream that comes from that credit card in the auditor's office. Why aren't we doing that? Like there's just like simple practices that I want to be able to share with you guys. I have the county's 2024 legislative priorities, and you can pass those out amongst yourselves. And it's really exciting to see Tenino things on here. And so if the LRA thing was a big deal last year, and the county's still working on that. So that'll be something to look at. But the very last one, the Southwest Washington Agricultural Business and Innovation Park Regional Meat Processing Facility. So the county has said that this is a top priority for them to make sure that funding is acquired to help with the ag park and the meat processing goal. Did I give you guys stuff?
No, you gave me,
Other weird stuff? Oh, that's garbage.
yeah.
So that's cool that the city is aligned with the county and the state as well, all the way up to the federal government. So it is rare that the city would have that much alignment and that much power behind an idea. So it's important that you guys understand that the county's behind it, the state's behind it, the feds are behind it, and there will be more money coming to support this concept. And Aslan and I were just talking about it earlier. So that's a big deal, and I hope you all can, and I'm sure that you'll all continue to support that. I have business cards that I'd like to give to everybody. I actually brought enough.
Thank you.
On one side is my contact info, and the other side is my staff members.
Thank you,
Those are
sir.
for downstairs. So you're all welcome to contact me anytime for anything. if you want to just have coffee, if you want to just talk. I'm going to try to attend some of these meetings. I'm not going to be at every meeting. Hopefully, I'll get here maybe once a quarter, but I also want to be able to go to Bucota, Rainier's, and other things that, you know, kind of are relevant as we kind of build our influence and, you know, things within the community, within the county. There's a lot of stuff that we go over. A lot of it doesn't necessarily apply to the city of Tenino, but every once in a while, there's something that comes up. When we start working on our comp plan, there's probably going to be places where things overlap. I'm learning about UGA swaps and how those are now allowed by the state, and that's probably relevant to you guys, where you've got some of your UGA boundaries maybe don't work for residential development anymore. And there was discussion about doing some swaps at some UGA space. Previous to like a year ago, that wasn't allowed by the state. Now it's allowed, and the county's working on a UGA swap, South Tumwater area. I don't know. Any questions?
I think that the county commissioner, don't you think the county commissioner, the planning commission, I wonder if they're aware of these UGA.
I know, I'm sure Dan is aware of those things, but, you know, sometimes you guys have to push those issues.
Okay.
And, you know, yeah.
It's great,
Okay.
something great to consider during our comprehensive plan
Right.
update.
Yeah,
It'd be a
yeah.
great time to be thinking about some of those
Right.
things.
But it's also something you can prompt the county to do somewhat. You can get it on there, Dan. Plug
They have lots
plug
of
your
money.
ears, Leah.
They have lots of money.
Yeah. Well, I mean, yeah. There's a new medic unit coming online that there's going to be big discussion about where that goes.
Oh, boy.
There's some long-term ag stuff that is probably going to, you know, get on your desks, or you're going to have people asking about it. And it's 7:30, so I'll quit.
Okay.
All right, you got my card.
Thank you, I appreciate it.
Thank you.
Okay, by the clock up here, we got a little bit, but we'll go
1
right
minute.
into the regular meeting here in just a minute. Oh, there it goes. Okay, we're going to call to order the regular meeting of the Tenino City Council for Tuesday, January 9th, 2024. Stand for the flag salute. John, would you like to do this?
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you.
I always want to break
Thank you,
into
everybody.
song after that.
First thing is agenda for the regular meeting. Motion to approve the agenda. We had an addition. Remind me what that addition was? Wasn't, Linda, didn't you have something you wanted to add? I know, see, that's what happens
Did
when you
I?
get old. That's what happens when you get old. Yeah.
What was it? I didn't write it down.
I don't remember anything.
I don't think
I
so.
don't think so.
Maybe
No, I don't think so. I think it was,
Actually, I would like to, because the chief was here, he wanted to talk, and we ran out of time, so if we can put him under presentations,
Yeah,
that'd be
we'll
great.
get you, yeah.
okay, so
Yeah.
you're going to amend the agenda
Yeah.
for
We're gonna add
presentations.
fire chief's report under presentations.
So I'm going to approve the agenda as amended.
Second.
There's been a first and a second. Any discussion? Okay, all those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Okay, approval of minutes, meeting minutes for 12/12/23.
So moved.
Second.
It's been moved and seconded to approve the meeting minutes from 12/12/2023. Is there any discussion? Hearing none. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Passes, thank you. Consent calendar. Consent calendar consisting of December, is that supposed to be December 1st into the?
No, she said 31st. I don't know, because it wasn't the first. We had already
Had one?
Yeah, those ones just went in for the 13th month, like end of
Oh, the very end of that one, okay. For December 31st, payroll ETFs in the amount of $44,777.97, and checks 32011 through 32039 in the amount of $89,538.40 for a grand total of $134,316.37. And consent calendar consisting of January 1st, 2024 through January 9th, 2024. Payroll ETFs in the amount of $29,210.41 and checks 32,010 through 32,050 in the amount of $240,183.61
Bless you.
for a grand total of $269,394.02. No liquor or cannabis license renewals. Motion to, go ahead.
Move approval.
Second.
Second.
It's been moved and seconded to adopt the consent calendar. Any discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Passes. Executive session, there's no executive session tonight. Presentations, let's do the chief first, and then we'll go into the OSA office.
Evening. Andrew Shaffron, Fire Chief, for those of you who don't know who I am. So I'm just going to give you a recap of 2023 for the fire department and where we're going to be going in 2024. So last year we ran about 1,820 calls for our jurisdiction. About 800 of those were mutual aid given and received. And a lot of that for us is our ambulance program where we're helping the county out. Out of that 1,800-ish, 401 calls were for inside the city limits, which put about 600 out in the rural area. So that's how we're busy, where we're running our calls and so forth. We have changed our staffing last year. We're up to 8 career people. Our goal is to get to 9. So that's 3 per shift. Within that augmentation, we have about 5 part-timers, and the 5 part-timers are what helps us staff that daytime ambulance, that 10 to 10, that helps us with the mutual aid throughout the whole county. That's usually our peak area of time that we need to have that ambulance staffed. Going into this year, next year, we'll really see when we can hire that 9th person to round out having 3 career people per shift. That's going to help us reduce backfill on wildland fires, overtime, and different things like that, and a little more guaranteed staffing for us. The bond, we're still working on that station. We actually did put in an offer for some land, and so we're waiting to hear back from that. There's some stipulations that go along with that. There's 3 of them, and so pending those 3 stipulations get met, then we can go through with the actual purchase, but that's been the agreement with the owner and us so far. We're waiting to hear back from the attorneys. Within that, our equipment that we said we were going to purchase, we do have our engine. It's over here getting all the equipment put on. Hopefully by the end of the month, we're going to get our new tender that was part of the bond. And then once that's here, we're actually going to try to do a community event where everyone can come see those, and we'll do a push-in and so forth. So once we have that tender, we'll have a day where everyone can come down and see them and help us push them in and get them running for the fire district. And then going into 2024, besides planning for that 9th employee, we're going to have to start working out our budget for the levy. We're down to our 5th year at a 6-year levy, and so we'll be making plans to go back out for that at the end of our full 6 years, which I believe we have another year on that current one. And then that would lift us back to the $1.50. We're down to $1.25, $1.20 now within that system. That's our review. Do you have any questions?
I don't suppose you'd tell us where the property is.
I'm not sure I can yet.
Okay.
I don't think we legally can.
Yeah. So there's actions being moved. Yes, sir. Yes. Yeah. So we're in the process. That's been the hardship on that, is finding property that would work for the station design, and then all the other hooplas that we have to go through. I mean, as you guys know, some of the city people have known that we're having an issue with the gopher thing. 1 minute we're going by one plan, next minute you're told nope, you're going with the Thurston County's new plan. nope, wait, you're not included in that. The county excluded the city somehow or whatever it was. So now we're back to the old plan. And so now we have to go back and find someone to do the old style study where you only have so many months, right, to do that process. So we're playing that yo-yo game. One of the stipulations is now is a soil analysis to make sure everything drains well, kind of thing. So we're learning lots and jumping through hoops. So it's all the backdoor politics stuff that we're dealing with right now. Yeah. All right. Thank you.
When's the crab feed?
The first Saturday in March.
March?
So I think that's March 2nd, if I remember correctly. So we're starting the process for all that right now, and so it's moving forward.
I just wanted these guys to know that they got plenty else for tickets.
There you go. It's I don't even remember what annual one we're on now, but it's been going on for a long time. So
Quite a while.
yes, yeah, good times.
First Saturday in February is the 3rd.
No,
March.
Oh, March.
Something I would like to maybe do in the
It's the
future is
second.
during one of
I
our
know
work
when it
sessions,
is.
maybe
It's
come in
second.
and talk about like your ambulance, some specific things about the fire department, like the ambulance program. I don't know if a lot of people really understand what benefit that is to our citizens and some of those things. So I would like to maybe in the future we can do something on
Sure.
some specific things and be a little more detailed.
Yeah, absolutely, we can do
yeah.
that.
Great.
Yeah, no issues. All right.
Okay, any other questions? Thanks for being here. I really appreciate it.
thanks, Andrew.
Thanks, Chief. See you Thursday.
Okay, here we go. Oath of office for Dave Watterson. So I don't know who that guy is.
Who's going to do it?
I think Jen's got it.
Yay, Jen.
I'm all ready.
We practiced before.
Yeah, we did your rehearsal all day. Raise your right hand, do it to your left.
The other way.
She doesn't even know which hand it is.
Okay. I, Dave Watterson,
I, Dave Watterson,
do solemnly swear
do solemnly swear
that I will support the Constitution
that I will support the Constitution
of the United States,
of the United States,
the Constitution
the Constitution
and laws of the state of Washington,
and laws of the state of Washington,
and the ordinances
and the ordinances
and regulations of the city of Tenino,
and regulations of the city of Tenino,
and that I will faithfully
and that I will faithfully
and impartially
perform and
discharge the duties of the office.
that's a lot. To
that too
perform and
much?
discharge the duties of the office
As mayor
as mayor
for the city of Tenino,
for the city of Tenino,
according to the law and best of my ability.
according to the law and best of my ability. Yay. So we're going to do.
I think Jeff's was next.
Jeff,
Yeah.
I have it.
Jeff and I also did the county one, but we're doing it here. This is for citizens of
So this is all old hat, right?
we should be able to say this without even getting it wrong.
Do you want his official?
Yours.
Okay.
Some of the words might be different.
Okay, Jeff, yeah, raise your right hand. I, Jeff Eisel,
I, Jeff Eisel,
do solemnly swear or affirm
do solemnly swear
that I will support the Constitution of the United States,
that I will support the Constitution of the United States,
the Constitution and laws of the state of Washington,
the Constitution and laws of the state of Washington,
and the ordinances and regulations of the city of Tenino,
and the ordinances and regulations of the city of Tenino,
and that I will faithfully and impartially perform
and that I will faithfully and impartially perform
and discharge the duties of the office of City Council Position Number 5 for the city of Tenino.
and discharge the duties of the city council number 5 for the city of Tenino.
I think you got that.
Most of it, good enough.
And lastly, our returning
Congratulations.
council person, Elaine Flan. I know. I had to stop. Here we go. I, Elaine Clam,
I, Elaine Clem,
do solemnly swear swear
do solemnly swear
that I will support the Constitution of the United States
that I will support the Constitution of the United States
and the Constitution and laws
and the Constitution and laws
of the state of Washington
of the state of Washington
and the ordinances and regulations
and the ordinance and regulations
of the city of
of the
Tenino,
city of Tenino,
and that I will faithfully and impartially perform
and will faithfully and solemnly perform
and discharge the duties of the office of
and discharge the duties of the office of
City Council Position 2 for the city of Tenino.
City Council Position 2, City of Tenino.
We did it. Okay, we're all official.
Okay.
And I just wanted to say thank you for all the people that have stepped up to serve on the city council. It's a great service to our city, and I appreciate it, and I look forward to working with all of you very much over this next year, so I appreciate it.
Thank you.
Okay, public comments. Is there anybody in the audience who would like to make a public comment? If so, come to the podium, and you're welcome to speak for up to 3 minutes. Nobody? Okay, one more chance. Anybody want to speak? Public comments? Okay, public hearing. We have no public hearing. Proclamations, no proclamations. So we'll move on to old business. Providence Health Services, Washington DBA, Providence St. Peter's Hospital. This is an agreement that is put in place so if our police arrest somebody, we have basically a contract with them to provide any medical services that need to be done. So there's a motion to approve that. Have you guys seen that previously?
Second.
Was that? Okay. So there's a motion to approve that
We
agreement.
also know it's for like DUIs and
DUIs
testing,
and
yeah.
blood testing
Yep.
and all kinds of stuff, yeah.
Move approval.
Second.
There's a approval and second to approve the contract with Providence Health Services. Is there any discussion? None? Hearing none, all those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Passes. Next is Mayor Pro Tem and Committee Commission liaison assignments. So we talked in the meeting before the regular meeting about these positions. In each January, council votes to select the Mayor Pro Tem from among the members in the event the mayor is unavailable. Is there any nominations for Mayor Pro Tem?
Yeah, I nominate Linda.
Second.
There's been a first and a second to nominate Linda Godovac for Mayor Pro Tem. Is there any other nominations? Hearing none, we'll call for the question. All those in favor?
Aye.
All opposed? Okay, congratulations on
Thank
your,
you, thank
what,
you.
your like fourth or fifth year, isn't it?
Yeah, I don't know,
It's
something
been a
like that.
bit, yeah.
Something like that.
Also, each January, the council votes to accept or reject mayoral recommendations for committee, commission, liaison assignments. And we've talked about all those in assigned positions, so I recommend that we fill the position as discussed in the work session. Jen, do you have them written down? Do you want to just kind of go through them and so everybody knows?
Yeah. Do you want to read them, or do you want me to?
You can read them.
Okay.
I'm not used to talking. My voice is already getting hoarse.
Okay, so, for the school district, I turned that off. For the school district, it will be Jason Lawton, and Jeff will be an alternate. BDAT will be Jason, and then Jeff an alternate. Solid waste, Dave would like to do that. Planning will be Jeff. Steady, Linda and John. TRPC, John and Dave. TPB, John and Dave. Fire District 12, Linda. EDC, Dave and John. And Pro Tem Mayor, we already did that. Do you want me to do the subcommittees?
Yeah.
Or is
why
that
don't you-
next?
why don't
Okay.
you do- yeah,
So
let's do them all
for,
together.
for the public works, it will be Jeff and Elaine. For law enforcement, John and Jason. And finance committee, Linda and Elaine. And Rana, I have these all written down, so don't write fast to remember. Press release, yep, on it.
approve.
Second.
It's been approved in a second to accept the mayor's recommendations for committees, commissions, and liaison assignments. Is there any discussion? Hearing none, all in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Old business,
Wait a second. Oh, never mind. Shut up, John.
Judy Kreiderman has requested to come back to volunteer with us a few times a month. She's been a great asset with our records retention stuff. She worked for the Supreme Court for many years, I think, doing those kind of things. So she's a great asset, and she's asked to come back. I don't know if this really requires a council approval, but
But it's here, so we'll do it.
Yeah, it's here.
Move approval.
Second.
it's been approved and seconded to accept Judy Kreiderman as a volunteer with City Hall. Is there any discussion? Okay, hearing none, all in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Okay, that's old business. Move on to new business. Ag Park North Building bid improvement. We set out for bids. We only got one bid returned, and it was significantly more than what we expected. I think some of the issues that as I understood, were we kind of had a compressed timeline for them to get those people to get those bids back to us. Was part of it. It was right around the holidays. So we're hoping that we can put this out to reject this bid and rebid it for hopefully get some more responses.
Yeah.
So the recommendation is to reject the bid per bidders paragraph 19.01 and rebid the project in a timely manner.
So moved.
Second.
Second.
It's been moved and seconded to reject a bid for the North Ag Park North Building. Is there any discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Okay, that passes. Next is Ag Park funds from the EDC, as we just discussed. So the motion would be to accept the funds from the EDC for the Ag Park.
So moved.
Second.
It's been moved and seconded to accept the funds from EDC for the Ag Park. It has been reviewed by our attorneys. Is there any discussion?
Thank you.
Always like getting money. Yeah. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Okay, next we have a proposed contract with Doug Ma to conduct this year's council retreat on January 20th, 2024. I think this is very similar to what we've had on all the past contracts. He gives us a fairly good discount from what he would normally charge people. So we're recommending approval of that contract.
So moved.
Second.
Been moved and seconded to approve the contract with Doug Ma for our council retreat. Is there any discussion? Hearing none, all in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? None, passes. Next is City of Tenino currently banks at Timberland Bank. Former Mayor Fournier needs to be removed from all city bank accounts and add Mayor Dave Watterson to the accounts as a signer.
So moved.
Second.
Second.
It's been moved and seconded to remove former Mayor Fournier and add Mayor Dave Watterson to our accounts as a signer. Is there any discussion? Hearing none, all in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Okay, thank you. Next is Planning Commission applicant. We have an applicant here, Adam Carney, who wishes to fill my spot, position 1 on the Planning Commission. I have talked to him and believe he'd be a great member to add to our Planning Commission. It's going to be a busy year with all the updates to our, so it's important to get him on there as soon as we can, and I think so he can get up to speed and understand what we're doing. He's here. Would you like to get up and kind of introduce yourself a little bit? And sure. Kind of, I think we've seen your application, but it'd be nice just to hear from you.
Well, good evening, everybody. My name is Adam Carney. I moved to Tenino with my wife approximately 5 months ago now, and just want to get involved in how the city is developing. The only experience that I have with anything planning related is my dad was a was a civil engineer, and so I heard a lot about cities developing and all sorts of building projects growing up. And so anyway, yeah, excited to apply, and thank you guys for the opportunity to sit on the Planning Commission.
Thank you.
No problem.
Second.
Second.
It's been moved and seconded to approve Adam Carney as Planning Commissioner, position 1. Is there any more discussion? If not, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? And lastly, on new business is Nisqually Tribal donation. So each year we've applied to the Nisqually Tribe. They donate to different organizations. I think they're required to by law as part of their gambling license. We applied for $40,000 just this year. We were planning on installing a FLIR system. We were awarded $15,000, which means we can't do the whole project as we talked about. So our police chief is going to go talk to him and see how much leeway we have to do other things with that money. So I think when he comes back and we kind of clearly understand kind of what we're dealing with here, we can talk about what we want to do with that money, if we're allowed to do something different, or do we want to try to do a partial install of the FLIR system, or I don't know at this point what that's going to look like, but he's going to talk to him and see if, you know, kind of what guidelines they're going to give us on that money. So we'll bring that back.
Should we hold this off until our next meeting when we have all the information that we need, instead of just accepting
Well, what's
it?
the timeline on it?
I think we're accepting it regardless. We just don't know how we're gonna utilize it.
Right, okay.
Okay, so
We're not saying what we're gonna do with the funds right now. We're just
Okay,
saying
so
we're gonna-
motion to accept the donation from the Nisqually Tribe.
Second. Excuse me.
It's been moved and seconded to accept the donation from the Nisqually Tribe. Is there any discussion?
Would you educate me, please? What is a FLIR system?
Flock.
Flock. I'm sorry.
Flock.
I was
Flock
thinking
system.
about our
Like a
infrared. Yeah.
You want to know
Flares
what a
and
flock system is?
Yes.
It's cameras at the entrances and exits to the city that can capture a license on a car, not just the description or the make, but it can actually hone in on when a crime happens in Yelm, say, or in Rainier, and they come through Tenino, they can use our cameras to spot that car and get the license on it.
It can even be like red car between 11 and 1 a.m. and it'll
Right.
show you every red car that drove by between
Right.
11 and 1 a.m. It could
We had a
be
burglary like
any-
6 months ago.
Yeah.
Where some folks stole some things out of a garage and everybody got their ring cameras caught what this truck looked like. So you had a description that it was a black Dodge, whatever, and it had a time. But there was no clear pictures of the truck to be able to see like the license plate. So had we had a flock system, we could have seen the truck leaving town and at that time been able to track down who it was that stole it.
Yeah.
And then when Don Juan's was part of a rash of burglaries that occurred down I-5, there was a flock camera system in Centralia where they were able to see these folks in a car that matched the description of who burgled Don Juan's, opening the safes, going through all the things behind a car wash in Centralia. So we were able to determine who those burglars were and get everything related to it down I-5.
Okay.
Yeah. I'd never heard of that either until we started talking about this.
I was going to ask you what the flare system was. but-
I was thinking FLIR is like infrared, like you use it. FLIR. Yeah.
Okay.
Okay, so where were we at? Discussion, and then, so it's, any other discussion on this? Hearing none, all in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Okay, that's it for new business. Let's see, did we get everything on our public
You
comment?
do have Adam's oath there. I don't know if you want to give
Oh.
that tonight.
Is it on here? Yeah, we might as well, so you'll be official tomorrow if you want to. Oh, here it is. I thought that was mine. Well, it's not.
Sorry.
I, Adam Carney, do solemnly swear that I will support the Constitution of the United States, the Constitution and laws of the State of Washington,
Have them pass me those so I can write, I can sign that. Oh, I need the check thing. It's way down there.
And discharge the duties
Discharge the office, the duties of the office of
Commissioner, City of Tenino Planning Commission.
Commissioner, City of Tenino Planning Commission.
Fit the position.
Did you go through the other one?
Congratulations.
You still working on it?
Okay.
You ready for the?
Okay,
I want to sign it.
that is our regular business. We now have public comment period number 2. Is there anybody out there that wants to make comment during this second period? Nope. You got to come up here and talk if you're going to make a comment. We have to have it on record.
You have to sign your name on the sheet.
And make sure little green lights on the stand there. There's lots of rules to this kind of
I
stuff.
just want to say congratulations, and we know that you're going to try to do the best job that you can and be fair about things in the city. And so we're just happy for you and hope that you have a good year ahead, or a couple of years, whatever, I don't know.
Put
4
your name
years.
down, Christy,
Oh,
and your address, please. Thank you.
Thank you. Yes. Anybody else? Public comments? Okay. Next is announcements.
I have one.
Okay.
Not as a city employee, but as a parent to a softball player, Tenino High School Softball Boosters is doing a crab feed on February 10th at the Tenino Eagles. Tickets are available. You have to pre-order. There's a whole crab, a half crab, and we're doing a baked potato bar, and there's a band playing after, so everybody should come.
Thank you. I was going to do that.
Make sure they're not too loud after 2 o'clock.
Yeah, noise ordinance.
Hi, my name's Wayne. Tomorrow's a big day. It is the Thurston County Chamber State of the City. We fought for a lot of years for Tenino to get inclusion in the address, the State of the City address. Dave did a great job in the Voice magazine, so I want to just commend him for doing that. And if it's a big crowd tomorrow, if you need any help preparing or advice for going up there, it's typically like 5 to 8 minutes. You kind of go up and you talk about, what's going on in the city, even though, you've only been in the seat for a couple months, but you can, really going off what you did in the magazine would probably be good. So just.
Yeah, I had actually told them I was supposed to be in Yakima tomorrow, but I think it's going to get canceled because of the weather going over the pass.
Okay.
So I don't know how they set their agenda, but I will.
They'll have a seat up there for you.
Yeah.
They'll have your picture up behind you.
Well, that's exciting.
Try not to get nervous.
Yeah.
Do not picture them all naked. It's
doesn't
not
work?
the crowd for that.
No.
Yeah,
Do picture them all.
But try to have fun.
Wayne.
Just be yourself. Try to have fun. It's one of the bigger rooms that you'll be in, in the next couple months.
Is that St. Martin's, correct?
St. Martin's, and it's a big deal that we're there and that we're representing Tenino, because I really hounded them for years to include us, and last year was the first time they gave us a seat at the table.
And we're the only smaller city that's.
Yeah.
Other next one is Yelm, and they're significantly bigger than us.
Yep. So
Yeah, that's
Yep.
cool that they've
Yay.
included us.
look forward to seeing you tomorrow.
Yep. Any other announcements?
Is that streamed tomorrow, the chamber?
They record it and it'll be on YouTube.
Good.
Okay, if there's no other business.
Did you have a recommendation as when you wanted the finance committee to meet?
Yes, I would like to set up a finance committee as soon as we can all get together.
Well, if we can do it at like 5:30 at night,
I'm good with doing it in the evening. if you
between, I
guys-
know,
I'm fine with that.
until after about the middle of March, and then I'm all through for the year, so.
Okay,
Yeah.
I will get with Jen and we'll figure out a
Okay.
day that works
Okay.
best for after 5:30.
Do you have a particular day of the week that doesn't matter? Okay.
We can adjourn and talk about it.
Okay.
Okay, that's all the business we have.